This week we will begin to work with Scratch Junior. So the way you're going to download Scratch Junior is you're going to go to the school website, and I'll put this link in here. And if you're on an iPad, you can click on this link. If you're on a desktop, you can click on this link. And after you do that, what you're going to do is you're going to pick if you're on a Mac or Windows. And if you're on Windows, you click down here. If you're on Mac, you click down here. And I just want to mention one thing. If you're on a Mac, you may get a message like this that it can't be opened. If that happens, what you just do is you just right-click on the application and choose Open, and then it will open up. So I'll show you how to do that. So if you get a warning that you can't open it, you just go over here and you do a right-click and you do Open, and it should open right up. Now once you're on the screen for Scratch, you're going to say, where are you using Scratch? This doesn't really matter. I'll put Home. Okay, and then you click Home again. And for Scratch Junior, it's going to look exactly the same if you're on an iPad. Okay, so this is on a this is on a Mac computer, and the Windows computer will look similar, and the iPad will look similar as well. So it doesn't matter which device you're on. I'm going to click plus to make a new project. And here's our Scratch layout here, and we're going to go over all the different things today in a general sense, and then we'll go into more depth later on. So we have our yellow block here with our flag and different events that can happen. So that's our events section. We'll talk about that later on. We have our motion in blue, and purple is you could do talk or changing size. We'll talk about that later on. And we have our sound over here. And here we have some repeat loops and waiting and stopping. This is control. And we're not going to use the red one too much. The main focus today is just learning about how to do a background and how to do a sprite. Next week we'll start talking about how to do motion. And as the weeks go on, we'll talk about the different types of blocks. Today what I want you to do is I want you to focus on doing a background and some different sprites. So I can click on the little picture on the top here, and I'm going to pick what type of background do I like. So maybe I like basketball, and I click on it, and I can click a check mark, and now I have a basketball scene. And now I'm going to pick who I want to be here. Now if you don't want this little character here, what you could do is you could click and hold, and you just X to get him out, and I can do a plus, and I could add in, maybe I want a wizard in there, and double click to get a wizard in there. Now if the wizard is too big, what you do is you go over here, okay, and you see I have these different blocks here. We'll just go to the purple, and I could shrink him. So I just move it down here, and I could shrink him if I want to make him smaller. Or maybe that's too small. I can go up here, I can use this one, and I can bring him in like this. Now you may want to color in the wizard, so you could color him in. Okay, so if you want to go over here and you want to do maybe like a green, I can make this green. I change the color because now I'm on a paint bucket over here. Or you can draw in if you want. If you want to draw, maybe if you want to draw a little orange over here, you could draw in like that in the orange. Okay, and then you have your different styles if you want to add like a little bit over here. So that's our wizard. Okay, when you're done, you click the check mark. And then what you could do is you could add more characters as well. Different things in here. I could add in if I want to have a penguin. I could have a penguin in there. Then I have my penguin, and I could click on this if I want to draw or anything I like. The other thing I wanted to mention is if you want to make your own. If you want to make your own, you can click the plus. And then you can go over here to paint, and then I can just make my own character if I want. Maybe put a circle, and then I could put a square like that. And what I could do is I could have a squiggly line if you want to draw a squiggly line. For a person if you want to do like that. And then I can do my paint bucket, and I could give them different colors. Okay, so you can come up with your own design. And then, on the top here, you could put, the name that you want, like the name, whatever. Then you have that in there, so that's the person you like. And then what you could do is if you want to go to here, I can click this, and I can make a move and go like this. Okay, and if you want to shrink them, like I said, you can go over here, and you could make them bigger, or you could make them shrink. And then if you want to, what you could do is you could add in different scenes. So if I want to add in a different background, I can click over here, the plus, and that gives us our tick here if I want to do a different scene. If you don't want to do that, you can take him out, and what you can do is you can add in over, maybe you want them in looking like this in the suburbs. Okay, click like that. So now they could have different backgrounds here and different scenes. And then what you do if you're in this scene, you just have to add in, if you want the same sprites, you could add them in, or you could add in different ones. So you can make a little bit of a scene if you want. If you want to make, this character here, and he's over here at the basketball, and then he goes over here and he goes to a second scene. Now the other thing I'm going to show you is if you want to get this person to move, you can go over here and you can use these blocks. And then if you want to, let's say, have the wizard, you could, now it's blank down here for the wizard, you can have the wizard moving back and forth. You could have him doing a turns up and down. You could have him do a hop up. You can have him do a hop. You can have him move a little bit that way. So you could try different things if you would like. And the other thing I wanted to mention is if you wanted the penguin too, you can do like this with the penguin. You can have him move. You can go up. He can go down. So you can go down. So you have your different scenes and you have your different sprites. So that's our main focus this week, to have different scenes and different sprites. And you also, just to mention, you could also type in if you want, you could say like PE class. Okay, now you have PE class there, and you could move that down here if you want to type that in. Okay, so that's our basics, and we're going to continue with this next week as well. But for this week, I just want you to focus on how to add in a background and how to make or add sprites, and also how to make your own sprite character. And next week we'll start talking about how to use more motion in code with this program, Scratch Junior.